Hey there! I've been meaning to make this sort of video for a long time now. While I would talk about my general history with art and gush about my progress, that would get annoying real quick. All you need to know is that ever since I got a drawing tablet on December 2020, I was incredibly motivated to make digital artwork. As a result, among other things such as practice and research, my skills as an artist has improved greatly. The artwork that you'll see throughout the gallery are what I personally find to be the best I've made, and while I have posted more artwork through sites such as DeviantArt or Twitter, they'd make the video pretty long. I will show up from time to time to explain a little about some artwork, but for the most part, it'll just be a slideshow. Oh, one last thing. When the gallery concludes, I'll talk about commissions, which I have revised as to make the process simple and convenient to the best of my ability. Of course, nobody's commissioned yet, so what I may explain in this video may be subject to change. Anyways, kick back, relax, and witness my artistic journey. Hey there again. Did I mention that I like Kirby a lot? Maybe I should have called this Zerbie's Kirby Gallery, because a whole lot more Kirby art will be coming your way. For whatever reason at this time, I felt like tackling on a big art project. This project revolved around Kirby Star Allies post-game mode, Guest Star, Allies Go. You see, in this mode, you are able to play through a shortened version of the game as someone other than Kirby. One of the main selling points of this game were the Dream Friend characters, who in their roots within the mode had unique levels, and even a cool remix during the final battle. My one nitpick with the Dream Friends in this mode is that the final boss is always the same one. It would have been cool if they were replaced with the final boss of the respective Dream Friends game. Of course, that would be a little too much to expect, not to mention all the effort needed to add 11 or so new bosses. You can find the artworks on my DeviantArt account, where there'll be a pretty short story in the descriptions that contextualize the fights. They're not perfect though. I've been itching to redo this aspect later on. Hey, just a heads up, some of my later artwork will involve spoilers for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, as well as any post-game content for the recent Returns to Dreamland remake. You have been warned. And that concludes the gallery. Now comes your possible involvement with my artwork. Commissions. I've been meaning to make this hobby into a career in the future, and I greatly appreciate your assistance on this. But before I tell you what I'm offering, there's some rules and standards I need to put out first. Rule number 1. No NSFW topics. This is basically anything that's pornographic, offensive, bigoted, anything that's like adult, I am not gonna accept. Rule number 2. Communicate via Twitter, Ko-Fi, Coffee, DeviantArt, or Discord. You'll need an account for at least one of these sites, as this will be how I'll show you progress on the commission, as well as receive any feedback as to further improve on the artwork. You may also discuss some issues that may not have been covered in the rules shown in the video. Rule number 3. Respect my current skill set, and understand that I'll struggle on drawing certain things. Rule number 4. There won't be a clear deadline for these commissions, but I'll make sure to get it done in a reasonable time. However, there is something I need to note here. Regardless of how easy a commission may be, that doesn't mean I'll work on it right away. As an organism with near human-like qualities, I share the same problems as anyone else. Namely, a finite amount of energy and motivation per day. It'll be done, don't worry, but not right now. Rule number 5. Reference photos are greatly appreciated. Drawing by memory is cool and all, but it's really hard, and not to mention, it is so easy to get things wrong with just memory. Rule number 6. You're paying upfront, which means I get paid before I start working on the commission. With this in mind, you should always be ready before you make a commission, which leads me on to rule number 7. If I can't start work on a commission and think that it'll take too long to start, you will be refunded. You'll also be refunded if your request violates rule number 1. But this is the only time that I can give refunds, because once the first stroke is made, there is no going back. And finally comes rule number 8. I like to make videos. I like to make animations. If you commission me, I'll shout you out in the next video. Now that we've gotten the rules out of the way, what options are available for a commission? Currently, there are only 2 options, both having optional content you can pay for. First is the $1 per minute option at the minimum price of $5. you can request me to doodle a character's head within 5 minutes. Do note that the price for this option is flexible, so if you pay $15, I'll work on the character for 15 minutes. There's some extra purchases you can make here, such as the ability to have more parts of the character drawn, or even have color, no shading included. Of course, staying true to this options gimmick, purchasing all the extras will grant me 6 extra minutes of doodling time. Of course, with how little time I have to work on these, the quality may not be super great. But hey, if you want to see someone else draw your original character, or a character you like, at an affordable price, well, here it is. Oh, and just to be legitimate, I'll make sure to submit a time-lapse of the artwork in full. Also, the minutes in dollar per minute only counts the time spent actually drawing and not on stuff like preparations. For those who want a little more serious stuff, there's the actual artwork. Starting at the base price of $30, you'll have a character that is fully drawn, fully colored, and fully shaded. You can also decide the choice of background, such as if it's all one solid color, gradient, or uses a pattern. The image is in a much bigger resolution, and like before, I'll include a time lapse, albeit a sped up one. Regarding backgrounds, if you have an extra $30 on you, you can request for a custom 3D backdrop. For now, there won't really be a time lapse for this one. And that concludes the commissions. It's pretty simple for now, but later on down the line, I may offer more things or change what's already there. With this form of support, we both get something out of it. You get a cool drawing and a shout out in future videos, and I get to draw. But of course, if you simply want to support me in a more modest way, you can always donate on my Ko-Fi. This can either be a one-time donation of $1 or a monthly donation of $1. Up to you, really. Either way, by lending your support, you'll help me both in improving my skills as an artist and, of course, make even better content than I have now. See you guys later.